Welcome to Deep Thought. Fight through the down moments. You know what? I'm going to be real with y'all. There's always a down moment. There's always a down moment. Now, there was some family stuff going on as, I'm recording this, and, it was a down moment. It was, I ain't going to get into what it was exactly, but, because, in general in life, when one thing bad happens, or negative or unfortunate happens, then all the other stuff seemed to come up because you start thinking about it and everything. So that happened. So it was a down moment, and I have them. As I always say, I consistently say, I say it almost every video pretty much. I'm climbing up that mountain with y'all, So I'm going through my stuff as well. I got demons I have to fight. Now, not as much as when maybe 10 years ago. Definitely not as much as 10 years ago, but I still have those demons I have to deal with. So, and I still have those down moments. You know what? You got to fight through them. That's all you got to do. You got to fight through them. I would say this, when you have those down moments, you can't wallow in it. You can't just be there like, this down moment and embrace it. See, a lot of people embrace being a victim. They embrace it. They'll say, I'm a victim. And deep down, the reason they embrace that victimhood is they want to use that as a power to get sympathy. But see, the thing is, at the end of the day, you're the one being hurt. You're the one, not everybody else. So in those down moments, that's dealing with your mental health, your physical health too. When people stress, stress is a big cause of actually high blood pressure and other stuff, ailments. Nervousness and all of that. Shoot. So when you encounter those down moments, when they come, you might dwell on it a bit. And there's nothing wrong with dwelling on it to think about how to solve it, to learn from it and to think about how to solve it. But you don't want to stay there. You want to fight through it. Indeed, I would put it like this. Fighting through it, you actually solving it. You're just saying, okay, you're feeling down, things ain't going right. If you sit back and think, okay, what can I do to make it to another level? What can I do? What kind of fight can I make? What can I do? What can I do? Like one thing I always say, whenever you get those negative thoughts, replace them with a positive thought. Here's a great example, and I've used this example constantly, but relationships, everybody go through them. All right, like you're a guy and a woman reject you. Okay, think about the times, learn from the rejection, first of all. Learn from the rejection, first of all. And then once you learn from the rejection, figure out how not to be rejected again. That's a fight. Just the act of saying, okay, I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to get what I can from it. And then I'm going to learn how to do more positive next time. That's fighting for it. That's fighting through it. Or even when you're going through something and you're sitting there ho-hum and then you say, you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to go do this thing to get my mind off of this. That's fighting through it. You have to. You can't dwell in it. Because you get some people, they'll dwell in something for days, weeks, months. And then what happens? They actually make the situation worse. Because, see, one of the things is when you don't deal with it, what you do, you look for some relief. You might get some medicine or something, which lightens your mood, which is really legal drugs. And then, of course, people get illegal drugs. There's a lot of people who use drugs just to get through something, to lighten the mood. But it was like, that actually makes it worse. Let me use the drug example, illegal drug example. You went through that thing and you used the drugs to alleviate everything, but you actually now you got to deal with the drugs, and that actually makes the situation worse. Let me hit y'all with some deep stuff. A lot of times, most people, when they try to solve something, they don't look at the entire picture. They'll got that little thing that they need to deal with, and they'll do something to alleviate it or something, but they ain't looking at the big picture, which looking at the big picture is saying, okay, using a drug example. all right, if I use these drugs, yeah, I feel better from this one thing, but then it creates a bigger problem. What if I get hooked on drugs to the point that I can't, I can't keep a job, I'm messing up my relationships and everything. Seriously, I've talked with a lot of people and they'll say they start using drugs or something like that, to alleviate some type of pain. And they only made things worse. And then people can't figure it out. I say, well, you got to look at the whole picture, right? So, you gotta fight the down moment. When you fight it, you gotta say, okay, you gotta fight it in such a way that you're not gonna have a situation where you gotta deal with a bigger problem. And you gotta get through it. But on a basic level, you can't dwell on it. I don't care what you do. At the very least, even if you ain't seeing the big picture, which, it takes some skill to see everything, but at least say, hold up. I'm feeling bad now. I'm feeling depressed. Let me fight my way through this. Let me think about a way I can not feel depressed. Let me think about the good things. The good things. Why not do that? That makes a lot more sense. And then, you're not stuck on this place. And, you have to, because seriously, when people get stuck there, their lives just go downhill. How often have we seen somebody, something bad happened to them and their level of depression, the level of mental anguish that they go through messed them up in other areas? How often have we seen or known or heard of or been in a situation, whether we seen, not just heard of, but we seen somebody who's doing well, but they had that one bad moment. All of a sudden they just go downhill. And not even just using illegal substances or stimulants or something like that, but, their relationships or even their own health. People, it hits people. Indeed, that's why somebody treating things of that nature will look at it holistically and say, okay, why are they really feeling this way? They look at the entire picture. So I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to fight through it. It's tough. And y'all not alone. I told you, I be fighting through some things, Now, most of the time I'm in a good mood, but I'm human, so there's going to be some times I'm like, but then I fight through it. I remind myself, okay, this is where I am, all right? I want y'all to do the same thing. So I want y'all to really think on this one, okay? So anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Peace and blessings.